what not to do.
Who doesn't love a good sparkler exit at the end of the night? I mean, why wouldn't you want to give sticks of fire to a bunch of people who have been celebrating together all night long, oftentimes with alcohol? The truth is, not everyone loves a sparkler exit. If done safely, it can be both fun and beautiful. That's why in tonight's video, we're discussing the key things that go into a successful sparkler exit, how to plan accordingly with your venue, and which sparklers are the best for you to use for your sparkler exit. First, let's go over what a sparkler exit is and how you can plan for yours to go as smoothly as possible on your wedding day. Step 1, you're going to want to discuss the idea of a sparkler exit ahead of time with your venue. Some places don't allow them, so if that's your venue, you need to head right back to square one on planning your exit. Step 2, what supplies will you want to have for your sparkler exit? Sparklers, lighters, metal buckets for the burnt sparklers to go into after the exit is done. You don't want to use anything plastic for this, as the hot sparklers might melt it. Someone in charge and responsible for safety, and someone to capture the process on film and/or video. Step 3, how do you coordinate the process? First, make sure someone preps your sparklers and supplies in advance. Sometimes the sparklers are individually wrapped, and if you don't take the time ahead of time to unwrap them, it can be a big time waster on your wedding day. Next, make sure you have a plan for the specific location at your venue that you want your sparkler exit to occur. Discuss it in advance with your photo and video team to make sure they are confident they can get you good stuff where you want the exit to happen. Communicate your plans to your guests so they know there's an exit and what time you intend to do it. If you don't do this, you may have a number of folks leave early and not be able to participate. Have your wedding planner or the person who is in charge of making things go smoothly direct your guests to the location and have them line up in 2 fairly evenly sized groups on either side of the exit path you plan to take. This next part is really important. Wait until everyone is gathered and lined up to start any of the sparkler lighting. It can take longer than you think to make that happen. Also, make sure your photo and video team are ready to go before any sparklers get lit. Once everyone's ready, have your delegated person light some of the guest sparklers and instruct the guests to then help light the person's sparkler who is next to them. Then jump a few more people down and repeat this process so that everyone's sparklers can get lit pretty quickly. Of course, make sure folks are holding their sparklers safely and keeping the lit end away from other people. If you have a preference for how your guests hold their sparklers, be sure to let the person organizing your exit know that. Some folks like it if the sparklers form a kind of arch over them, others like it if they're more vertical. You also want to make sure that you have purchased the right kind of sparklers. There are different lengths of sparklers that have different burn times. If you're hoping to get some great shots of you and your partner during the exit, the more time possible, the better. There are also some types of sparklers that are specifically designed for use at weddings. Usually they don't make as much smoke as standard sparklers, which can typically help make sure the images are more clear. Now, as you're doing the exit, you might feel tempted to run quickly, but most times your photographer will likely prefer if you walk slowly or even stop in the middle for a kiss or a twirl. Remember to try to plan your photo and video coverage to include your exit time, because if you aren't able to have your pro photo and video folks stay through your exit, chances are you won't get images that are very good. A novice photographer or videographer will likely have a tough time capturing your sparkler exit because usually you need some advanced techniques and quality equipment to get those amazing images you've seen on Pinterest and in magazines. If you're loving this video so far and are ready to see for yourself the different size sparklers in action with Nick, then hit the like button and let's move on to which sparkler we think is best.
So we're gonna test out 3 different size sparklers tonight. The 10-inch, the 20-inch, and the 36-inch. On your wedding day, you want sparklers to last long enough so that your guests can get in position and your photo and video team are ready to capture the moment. So let's figure out how long each one of these sizes lasts for you to know which kind is best for you. So these are the 10-inch sparklers. They burn out completely in approximately 45 seconds. Probably a smaller wedding with less than 50 people could make these work. Now we move on to the 20-inch sparklers, which lasts approximately 1 minute and 53 seconds. Who is the 20-inch sparkler for? Probably a wedding with less than 100 people could make these work for their needs. Finally, let's see how long the 36-inch sparklers last. They last for approximately 3.5 minutes. Who is the 36-inch sparkler perfect for? Probably a wedding with 200 guests or more. The more guests you have, the longer you want your sparkler time to be, so you are able to exit through the whole group during the time the sparklers burn. Also, if you have a plan to try to do any long exposure images with your photographer, these long burning sparklers can help. A pro tip, do not light a bundle of sparklers at one time. The flare up from all these being lit at once could highly risk the chance of you or your guest being burned.
We hope you're finding all of this wedding sparkler exit information to be super helpful. Watch the video linked up on the screen next for even more free educational wedding planning content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.